Can you imagine if Adele just did like a whole album with Max Martin? What's up, friends? My name's Kevin Bissay, singer, songwriter, and producer. And today we are looking at the new Adele album, 30. I've liked Adele. I've been with her since she was chasing pavements. I think all of her albums have been excellent. She definitely took a huge step up with 21. I would say that was her best work. Although I do think that 25 was good as well. Her first song from this album, Easy On Me, that she released a few weeks ago, was good. It felt more like a 25 song than it did like a 21 song, so it got me thinking, maybe I won't like this album as much as I did 21, but I'll still enjoy it. So that's kind of my viewpoint going into this album. I do think she works with just the best people because she's probably the best singer that's currently like active in the pop scene right now. Maybe Sia. Sia's probably better. Maybe. That's the only one who would really compete for that position in my mind. Also, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and check out my latest album. And I've got a Christmas song coming out in a week. It's gonna be great. It's the best Christmas song. Okay, let's start this out. Strangers by Nature. I like the blending tones of the digital piano with the strings. Like once the strings came in, I feel like the song just went up. Okay, that song was cool. I especially liked when it started like kind of sound started going on around the 150 mark. I feel like Ludwig Göransson really had a chance to shine there. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I think he's brilliant. He's proven himself again and again with Childish Gambino, with scores for Community and The Mandalorian. And I think he's just brilliant. He's a really good producer and composer. And I think the song worked pretty well. My one complaint about the song, and if you've watched any of my other videos and you listen to the song, you know I'm going to have this complaint. I don't like when albums start out too slow unless they like start to pick up there. And I don't feel like that song really picked up enough. It didn't have quite enough energy for me to be an opening song of an album. However, I still enjoyed it immensely. Just sequencing wise, I don't like to start slow. I mean, it was really interesting, to be fair. It wasn't quite what I would have put for a first song. I would maybe have it a bit deeper into the album, personally. Still good, though. Still liked it. And Adele sounded great on it. Maybe a tad too much reverb, but besides that, she sounded great. Easy On Me. I've heard the song before. I have a full YouTube video that I did on just this song. Let's check it out. You can't deny. I love the way she does like certain blends of like softness and then it's like more belty tone. It's really brilliant. I just think there's no one better at doing that in the singing world. Just that specific thing, she just nails. Yeah, again, good song. She sounds good on it. I especially like the bass line and the lows, the low percussion that goes on in the second half. I think it's really tasteful and it enhances the song and drives it forward energy-wise without getting in the way of what the basis of the song is, which is just, you know, this kind of piano ballad. And she sounds great on it. I think it was a really great track to reintroduce herself on, to say like, hey, I'm back. Shows off her vocal abilities really well, her runs. It'd be a really cool one to see her do live. My Little Love. Let's check it out.
I feel a bit confused. Why? I don't know. And I feel...
Man, the harmonic responses on this song have been so cool. The little back and forth she's having with her kid on it, it's so emotional. Jeez, like it's just entrancing. Oh man, so heavy.
You feel
Oh my goodness.
my past aches when you lay on me.
That's a heavy song. That melody's really brilliant though. The bum, ba, da, 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 da. It's kind of haunting, has a cool vibe. I'm guessing the song's in F minor, given that. Wow. Heavy piece of music. That is such a vulnerable thing to like record those moments and put them on an album. Whew. I don't know if I could do it. That's brave. That's intense. really gives you some like understanding into like what's going on when someone gets divorced, like how just terrible it is. And you know, divorce is like semi-common, and her situation isn't like crazy, so it's very emotional. That was a very emotional song. Okay, Cry Your Heart Out. Let's check it out.
Cry your heart out. Clean your
I think I like everything but the chorus in this song. Like, I just love how everything develops, but that it just seems a little weird to me. I mean, it's a creative experimental choice, so I appreciate that about it, but it's just not my thing. I just like the electronic effect on it. It just doesn't feel like it quite fits. I just use it a little differently, I guess. But I love like the groove and the stuff on this song. It's so just, it gets you. I love the pre-chorus. Da, 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 da. That's sick.
When will I begin to feel like me again? I'm hanging by.
Yeah, I really liked the instrumentation on that song. The kind of jazzy piano with that simple drum beat, and then you had these occasional other instruments pop up, like that rhythm guitar, that organ at the end especially. Lots of cool stuff going on. I love the pre-chorus. That chorus, though, is just a little weird for me. And it's interesting because I think that sound just doesn't fit that chorus, because on the bridge, I feel like the sound worked really well. I really like the blend of the effect with her natural vocal. In general, these songs seem like a tad long for my taste. I feel like at certain points they get a little bit indulgent. That's like kind of what I'm seeing in this first third, but they're still good. Just at certain points I'm like, trim it a tad, just a tad. Yeah, that was a weird one for me. Kind of like, it's hard to enjoy it fully because of that weird effect on that chorus that I don't feel fit. Okay, next song. Oh my God. I'm trying to say that in like a reverential way. I don't like to use the name of God in vain. Okay, let's do this.
Control from the fall. Boy.
Kirsten's doing some just brilliant stuff with vocal manipulation on this song. It sounds so cool. Using the vocals that way is just, it's brilliant. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff going on in the production and the instrumentation. It's so impressive, and it's just so exciting, you know, and I feel it fits so well. This is probably my favorite track on the album so far.
Yeah, I know that it's so, but
Yeah, that song's sick. Oh man, that moves and grooves in just the best ways, and there's so much dependence on those vocal samples. Like, it's basically just vocals, drums, and bass. That's it. Throughout like the whole song. There's a few other instruments like here and there, but overall. And then the chorus is so catchy. The bridge is so catchy. Lord on me, I said Lord on me. I feel like when she does like that gospel tone, like that southern gospel vibe, it just goes so well, and this is just a clear example of that. If this was the template for the album, if like this song represented what the album was, I think this could have been her most interesting and brilliant album yet. Because this song is phenomenal. I really enjoyed this. I think so far my favorites have been this and Strangers by Nature. So cool what they do with vocal manipulation there. I mean, you can tell they were speeding up vocals in interesting ways, just finding really fascinating tones, just playing with it in ways that I wouldn't have thought to do. Okay, let's listen to Can I Get It? Her Max Martin collab.
so can I get it right now?
That chorus just shows the power of Max Martin. Holy crap. The way that strips and then it builds back in percussively and then has that like harmony stack and then the whistle at the end. Whew. And the next verse, the whoop. Like the... Well, there's the future #1 hit single right there. This song's so sick. Oh man, I'm gonna hear that song way too much. I can already feel it. That song is so good. Man, I feel like Max Martin's just like showing off at this point. On that song especially. It's just like, hey, wanna see me make a hit? With Adele. Yeah, I like the horns coming in the second verse a lot. I like that bridge. The bridge melody is just sick. The way they use harmonies is so cool. It's so much just using vocals as like another instrument, you know, using vocals as something else to just like brighten something up. I feel like that chorus is so classic, just Max Martin development, you know? And I really like how in the last chorus he doesn't go back into that whistle thing. He just like lets it hang. There's so many choices that just make so much sense. Song never feels like it drags. Brilliant. Can you imagine if Adele just did like a whole album with Max Martin? No heat against Greg Kurstin. He's phenomenal, but whole album with Max Martin might be cool. I drink wine. I don't drink wine. She does.
Yet I don't know anybody who's truly satisfied.
The dry like vocal fry she uses on that pre-chorus and those backing vocals is just so good. And then I also really like the organ. It just is really tasteful, the levels involved with it, and just the colors it's generating. Whew. This song's cool. It kind of reminds me of like a build up, encouraging song, you know, which are way good.
Stop trying to be.
That was another one where I liked it a lot, and I really liked the vocal manipulations, the vocal experimentation that was going on in that song. There's just a lot of interesting stuff going on. And the piano organ kind of dueling solo thing at the end is really cool, but it's just a tad indulgent. The song just goes on for a bit where you start getting to that moment where you're like, okay, like let's move on. Yeah, it's just a tad indulgent, just a tad. Like it's still like a nice touch. It's not that it doesn't work as an outro. It was just a little too much. But overall, I really liked that song. I think the name was weird for it. I don't know why it was called I Drink Wine. I think they could have possibly found a different name for it. So good, though. So encouraging. It's like one of those, like, I want to climb that mountain. It's very gospel-oriented. That's going to conclude the Greg Kurstin portion of this album. A good last song for Greg Kurstin to go out on, you know? It's kind of his last on the album. I feel like that could have fit as, like, a last song, too. Like, after hearing that last song, I'm like, yeah. This was an excellent album. If it ended right there, I'd be like, nailed it. Let's see if the rest of the album stacks up. All Night Parking with Errol Garner, interlude.
To impress, don't leave me on this stretcher.
This sample is used so brilliantly. I love the electronic drums behind it. Also, I realized that this is a Kurstin song too. That was my bad. He produces this song as well. So this is really the last Kurstin. It just like hits. The rhythm just goes. Even when like the drums aren't there, I can like feel it, you know? Once you feel it, you feel it. It brings the sample to life in a really cool way.
All night long.
And her vocals sound sick, like the melodies she's creating and it's so smooth.
To me, I'm so cold.
Yeah, that song felt like the post-ending song for Kurstin. Yeah, that was cool though. I really liked the way they used that sample. It reminded me like a bit of kind of like that lo-fi, jazzy bedroom pop, but done with like Adele's vocals, which is just such a brilliant thing. I love hearing bedroom pop with Adele's vocals. I'd be down for a full album of that type of thing, you know, just bedroom pop with these brilliant, insane vocals and melodies. I think she played with that beat in a really cool way. Like the writing is just top notch. And the piano playing is sick. Woman Like Me is the next song. Let's check it out.
I really hope that this would go somewhere.
This song chills out significantly. It's just drawing back quite a bit. It's not terrible. It's just a little less exciting than the other songs. I do think they give a lot of really good space for Adele's vocals in this song, keeping the instrumentation just like kind of drawn back enough that you can kind of focus in on what she's got to offer, which is great. That's my thought so far.
To have, are you crazy?
It's just not my cup of tea as much. I feel like this kind of had the opposite problem of some of the Kurstin tracks, and so it makes me appreciate what the Kurstin tracks were doing a little bit more, because it didn't indulge enough. Like that last chorus was really cool. It kind of showed me what the song could have been. I feel like they had like interesting things come in that weren't on previous parts, but the song just kind of was too kind of on that same plane throughout. Adele sounded great on it though. I think the vocal performance there was really what was kind of saving it. It just felt a tad bland for me though. I honestly think like a little like piano soloing in like a higher range could have helped out. I feel like that song has potential. It needed slightly different production. I'm not always right. Just stayed a little chill for me. Let's check out Hold On.
Feel so mighty small.
I do like the gospel vibe in this song. I like when Adele takes on that gospel vibe. That production is just a little just boring for that first half. So we'll see what the second half has to offer. But the first half is just kind of like, oh man, I can't. Yeah, the back half of that song totally redeems it. It was so good. Really digging into that gospel vibe in a great way, making it a total bopping vibe. It just took too long to get there, in my opinion. Yeah, I would have played around maybe with the piano a little bit more in that first half just to give it a little something. The melodies even in the first half weren't as interesting, but that second half was brilliant. I loved the way it just exploded and how many just brilliant instrumentals were going on. Really developed nicely in the end there. Really encouraging. In that recent Kanye interview, Nori podcast, he talked about how not enough songs have a redemptive quality. I feel like this song has a redemptive quality. A redemptioner song. That second half is a sick song. The first half is just kind of eh. But the second half, man. What a second half. To Be Loved. Let's listen to it.
But I'm open wide.
It's interesting because the production on this song is just as simple as the last song, but the vocals are so much more explosive and interesting that it kind of makes up for the piano not being exciting. The piano is just providing a musical basis for the vocals to just run off on. The piano could not be there. You could replace the piano with anything. It doesn't really matter because that vocal is just so fire, so good. If this song never picked up, I'd be okay because it's grooving and moving for me just because of that vocal. So interesting how that can happen.
I can't live without let it be.
Whoa. Those vocal belts at the end were sick. Just really good. Really liked it. One last song. Overall with that last song, just the vocals were astonishing. Just so explosive, so good. Piano was kind of boring, but it didn't need to be because the vocals were just going crazy. I'm into the next song, though.
How unbelievable.
So far, this last song is a really good, wrap-up. I really like the pizzicato strings on that second verse. Just a lot of the production is really interesting. It feels like a big old standard, like a big old jazz standard, like a Frank Sinatra would sing, Just a good song. Good ender.
I can't keep up. Can't keep up.
That bass line on that bridge is just remarkable. Or at least whatever that is before the third chorus. It seems like a bridge to me. The bass line's sick.
To play.
And that's it. Cool. That was a great ender. A little indulgent again at the end. I prefer inflow indulgent to inflow chilled. Overall with the album, man, if it would have, I feel like the A side was just superior to the B side on that album. Just after track 8, it kind of just fell apart for a couple tracks there. 11 and 12 were good, but 9 and 10 were just rough. They just took a second to find their groove, that inflow Adele combo. The end, it was good though. The other stuff was really cool though. I thought there was some really interesting experimentation. A lot of great tracks. Some tracks I can see becoming hits, and a couple songs added to my playlist. My best of 2021 playlist. Those were Oh My God and Can I Get It. Excellent pieces of music in my opinion. Pretty solid. She's just got these insane vocals. And when she's allowed to express that, it goes really well. And there's a little bit of indulgence, but it's allowable. A little bit of instrumental indulgence at the end of some songs. I really like the emotional moments, the vulnerability that Adele showcased throughout this project, and I thought it was well placed. Christmas song of mine coming this next Friday. 1 week from today, there will be a new Christmas song by me, and it's a really good Christmas song. Cherish it. Yeah, and that's all I got. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share. Let me know what you guys thought of the new Adele album. Were you similarly disappointed by the tracks I was disappointed by? Did you think it was a tad indulgent, but that overall the melodies and vocals and everything were pretty dang good? Is it your favorite Adele album so far? Let me know. I'm interested. Anyway, that's it. Catch on the flip.